Grand Rising Soul Tribe, Tracy here with Sweet Spot e-magazine. Thank you so very much for the likes, shares, views, subscribes, the comments, generous donations, super thanks, super chats, hypes, everything. I appreciate it all. Let's go ahead and ring this bell. Let's clear out this energy, and then we'll see what the message the Spirit has for us. Hey, J Mike, Grand Rising. Hey, Hypsee. Someone is in regret. Somebody is feeling, what's the word? Paranoid. They're feeling paranoid because they feel like the whole world can see who they are. Like, see right into what they're doing, who they are, what they're thinking, how they're feeling, and what they've done. And the truth is, people can see what someone has done, and you don't care. You've moved on. You've let this whole situation go. You're like above and beyond that, but they can't let it go. Bottom of the deck. Scarcity. Like I said, somebody's feeling a certain way, like they're lacking something. Like somebody, because that's how they felt about themselves in the first place. That's why they was trying to come to you, come after you, I should say. This is somebody who resisted doing the right thing. This is somebody who was resisting working on themselves. They resisted change. And now they feel shame. They feel shame because these secrets have been revealed. People are seeing the masks that somebody wore. How they purposely did what they purposely did to purposely come after you. Now somebody wants some compassion. They want forgiveness. They want some people to give them the empathy that they never provided to you. Hey, Shaylin. Now somebody wants everybody to give them another chance. Everybody have a heart. I hear that song, "The Whole World's Laughing at Me," or "The Whole Town's Laughing at Me." Yeah, because of what they manifested, what they did. You manifest when you put in purpose behind that. When it's on your mind, when it's in your heart. See, this person, they failed to use their intuition, but you did not fail to use yours. And now the truth is out. You knew the truth. You see this person for who they are. And you know what? This is the perfect time. This is divine timing that everybody else is seeing this person for exactly who they are too. That light that somebody tried to shine on you to say, look at them, look at how bad they are, look at what they're doing wrong, look at how imperfect they are. People are seeing them. That light is shining on them. Hey, Grand Rising. Hey, Addie. How are you, sister? See, somebody thought that nobody was going to be able to see, the things that they did in the dark, but you have that type of cosmic power. You recognize the light in someone, and you also recognize the dark because you've been there. You've lived that. You had to grow from that. Now they no longer feel safe. They no longer feel protected. They feel like they have to surrender. They have to give it all up. In fact, they're being urged. They're being demanded to surrender. Hey, Aisha. Someone is finally waking up to the fact of who you are. They're finally starting to look at you with new eyes. And they're realizing that you always knew. You know, they're looking at who you are. The fact that you have divine lineage, the fact that you are in perfect celestial alignment. See, now somebody things are starting to click. It's starting to make sense why you didn't return their same fire with fire. For every shot that they shot out, you let it go. For every time that they tried to do some spell on you, you let it go because you knew it wasn't going to affect you. You returned it to the sender. See, this person feels like it's a miracle that you was able to rise above, that you were able to see exactly who they are. And this person feels so much grief. Grief that they were caught. Not even the grief that they did it, but just grief that they were caught. Your worthiness, you being able to rise above them, it created a tower moment in their life. It's creating storms in every area of their life. Hey, touche. This is when someone is being humbled. Someone is being broken down. You know, people are looking at what they took pleasure in, how they took pleasure in trying to bring someone else grief. But now it's their turn. Now they get to experience that same grief. You know, this giving and this receiving. As you give, so shall you receive. This person, they never thought that you would cut the cord with them. But you know what? You took out that machete and you cut that cord, whether it was, energetic cord or whatever it is. So this person could no longer get at you. And that's what's upsetting to them. They couldn't bring you down as much as they tried. This person, you know what? They sat there and they tried to put what they considered your business on Front Street, only to find out that wasn't even your business at all. So they could have did whatever they wanted to do. It didn't bother you. Let me turn this fan on. I'm starting to get hot. Hold on. It didn't bother you because it wasn't representative of you as a person, as what you do, as who you are. So say what you want to say, act how you want to act, do what you want to do. But in the end, it's not a reflection of me. That's a reflection of you. They had this desire to hurt you, to harm you. But you know what they didn't realize? You had already been through that. You was a wounded healer. You was a healer. And you started by healing yourself. You had already been through the battle. You had already done everything that this person was trying to do to you. You had already graduated from. And so what they were trying to do was to take your joy. And it's upsetting to them. They could not ever steal your joy. Everything that you sat back and you watched this person do or say or however they acted, you was like, okay, whatever. And you went on about your business. That's what made this person want to try more and more and more and more, harder and harder and harder, to the point where they sabotage themselves. They never hurt you. That's what somebody's having to explain to somebody. You didn't hurt collective. What you did, you hurt you. Like you tried so hard, you put so much passion, so much energy, so much time and commitment in trying to ruin another when you should have put all that passion, time, commitment, and energy in trying to work on yourself. See, somebody had to realize the hard way that they did too much. Who's got that type of time? I don't. Collective doesn't. We got everyday life going on. We have trying to work, trying to make our money, trying to relax, trying to enjoy life, trying to, do us. But somebody had so much time that all they could think about and focus on and concentrate on was you. They wanted what you have. All they had to do was working on themselves. They thought that they was going to betray you. They thought that they was going to tear you completely down so that you was going to have to start all over. Whatever energy this person put out, you just kindly, boldly, quietly walk the hell away. You liberated yourself because once again, whatever somebody put out doesn't bother you. It just bothers them, especially whenever they don't get the reaction that they're looking for. And they was looking for a certain reaction. Somebody tried to alchemize. They tried all this tricks. They tried jar spells. They tried putting your name on paper and putting it in the freezer. They tried, putting your name or something in a plastic bag, sticking it underwater. They tried everything. Nothing worked. Nothing worked. All this person did was cause you to have a radical rebirth. That was it. You went from great to greater. You went from this level to this level. That's all that person did was they helped you ascend. They helped you to be seen as the one who was the truth teller, as the one who has integrity, the responsible one. And then they made themselves look like the fool, the town fool. The whole town's laughing at me. Silly fool. Why you do such a stupid thing or whatever the song is. Yeah, they couldn't stop themselves. It's like they had this desire for people to look at them as they were the big one, as they were the one to save the day. See, had it not been for me stepping out of bounds, trying to do all this to collective, I would have never been able to save the day. People are looking at that person like, dude, sis, you stupid. You stupid. Hey, diesel gravy. And now they are receiving their own harvest. They planted their own seeds. And and they grew. Boy, did they grow. And the seeds that you planted, you're leveling up. Like I said, all they did was help you to gain another level. They just helped you to be seen as somebody that was really responsible. Whereas some people looked at this person, now they're like, man, go on with that bullshit. Hey, collective. Hey, Noni. This is why you were getting the good juju, because you didn't have a problem speaking up about the bullshit that was going on. You saw it. And people are looking at you like, how did you know? How did you overcome? How did you overpower? How did you do all this? They're looking at you as the creative one. They can't tell if it was you working alone or if it was you working with other people that saw everything, that was able to creatively take this, whether it was one person, two people, a team of people down. No wondering how you did that. It's because you was grounded. Not only are you grounded, but you help to knock somebody else down off of their self-appointed high pedestal. And this is why this person is so enraged, so mad, because their magic didn't work. The spells didn't work. Them bad-mouthing you didn't work. Them trying to take you down, it didn't work. Everything that they tried to do against you, it did not work. They tried to leave you out. You didn't care. You're very independent. They tried to give you less than. It didn't bother you. You got it from somewhere else. They tried to do everything to you, and it never worked. But are we connected, J. Mike? Are we connected, J. Mike? I think thank you. What it did do was it showed everyone exactly who they are, what they're about. It showed everybody who they are on the inside, and it showed everybody about their heart. And now, like I said, this is somebody who's constantly in victim mode. Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know me coming against the collective was going to have such bad repercussions for myself. Oh my gosh, you can't really be mad at me, right? Now they want forgiveness, and nobody's giving it to them. And they're pissed about that. Like, really? Because people see that they still are putting on a front. They still haven't surrendered to owning up to what they've done, what they attempted to do against you. They have not owned up to they have no integrity with whatsoever. So it's like, why are people going to give them another chance? Give them another chance to try and destroy somebody else? They have this hidden desire that they want to be just like you. They want to be you. And it's like this person cannot be you because they don't even know who you are, who they are. Well, in fact, if they would work on themselves, they would see that they are actually happy being themselves. They don't realize, and to be honest, they can't do what you did to be you. They can't go through that fire. They're not about that life. They are not about that life. Hey, Miss Mahogany Drag. Yeah, and them waking up to the idea or resigning to the idea that no matter what they do, you're always going to be in that spirit of joy. You're always going to be happy because you've already been through those other emotions. You already went through your own dark night of the soul. You worked on yourself. You battled your own inner demons. And this person hasn't. So this is why they are waking up to the fact that, you know what? You like yourself. You love yourself. And they don't even have a clue. This is why they feel that everybody can see straight through them. No. What's the message, Spirit? What's the message? Yes. See, somebody, like I said, they had this desire that people would see them as you and you as them. But that's not how it works. They're not going to sit there and all of a sudden get me mixed up with somebody else. I mean, like maybe if there was a twin, sure. And sometimes whenever you're home with your parents and they go through, they call you the wrong sibling name. But other than that, out on the street, no. At work? No. In the store? No. It's not going to happen. So instead of them all of a sudden that somebody be like, yeah, hey, ain't you Lightworker? I mean, yeah, your name is Lightworker William, and you Tracy, right? We would be like, what? Stop acting weird. No. Hey, Lightworker William, Grand Rising this morning. See, like I said, they're having a storm. They are having a tower moment in their life. They are being completely broken down and humbled because everybody can see exactly who they are, exactly what they did, and whereas you are fine and you're receiving everything that you want, everything that you pray for, everything that you really worked hard for, because you are in divine lineage. You allow people to do what it is that they do. Have at it. Be careful, but have fun. But that's not for me. I know who I am. Someone, like I said, they resisted change. They resisted working on themselves. And yet they wanted whatever they created for you, for your life to tear you down. Really? How about you didn't give it, so you can't take it away? How about God opened up the door that you cannot even close? How about that? Now that they feel some type of way because everyone can see what their sacred lust is. See what it is that they try to hide behind the shadows, what they do behind closed doors. They're the only one that's ashamed of themselves. Hell, we all had to go through something. We all had to work through something. There was everybody, every single person that's here, born, walking with a heartbeat, able to talk, able to do, able to see, able to hear, anybody that's living. We've all had that one thing that we felt like we had to keep it on the hush hush. We don't want nobody to know. But when it comes down to it, it's not like this was just us. We weren't the only one. We weren't the first. We won't be the last. It's just a matter of loving yourself. Girl, if you don't stop, I'm going to put you in the garage. I can't put you outside. I'll put you in the garage. Hold on, y'all. Hey, Malcolm. Go, girl. In the garage. Come on. Stay in here for a little bit. Y'all know when you see that little tail go past the screen, it means she's trying to get my attention and she's not going to stop. So, yeah, this person, and like I said, it was like everything that they were doing, they didn't realize it was just going to affect them. It was never going to affect you. This person felt like they had to be so loud and boisterous about something, like they had to really kind of spread the lie. They had to really put it out there. And now they're wishing that they had never said anything, because they can't take it back. They can only own up to what it was that they did and what it was that they said. They see now, this person now sees that you were very intuitive. And they didn't count on that. They didn't think about that. They thought that you were playing. You was in the spirit or the mode of play. Mm-mm. And if you were playing, you wasn't playing with them. You play with little children, not adult children. Bottom of the deck. Now somebody wants to talk about it. Now they want to compromise. You know? Now it's like they want to compromise or talk to this air sign. You know? They want to tell you, about how somebody was trying to get in the middle of, or sabotage this or what somebody else did. They want to tell you about somebody else that was doing this. But they don't want to sit there and take responsibility for what they put in. They want to tell about how it wasn't them and they listened to the wrong one. They don't even know why they was doing all this. But now they want to kiss butt. Be ready to be wined and dined. Now they want to come up. They want to ask forgiveness. This could be with the water sign. But you know what? You already know that it's time to let go. You may be taking a trip soon, but you already know it's time to let go. This fire sign is trying to let somebody know that, hey, everything in divine timing, let things flow. They're trying to say, oh, just give it time. They'll come back around. This air sign, they'll come back around. They'll have a change of heart. And somebody's expecting there to be some distance there. They're anticipating there to be some distance there, but what they're not anticipating is for you to just say this shit is completely over. Even when they want to talk about getting back together, you like, hell to the no. Hell to the no. Because it's like there's still more information that's coming out. And somebody they should have exercised caution whenever they tried coming for you. But they thought that you was gonna come back. Like you was gonna forgive them for trying to come after you. When you show me who you are the first time, I'm gonna believe you. I'm not gonna give you a second or a third or a fourth time to continue to try and tear me down. I'm gonna believe you that first time. Like I said, something about your intuition. They didn't feel that you really followed your intuition. And baby, let me let you know, that's your number one. That's why you're the number one stunner. Because you do follow your intuition. You allow it to lead you and guide you. When you hear that first whisper, that's what you hear the loudest. No matter what they say, no matter how loud they are, no matter how many times they repeat themselves, no matter how many times they try and throw a rock and hide their hand, you've already heard it. Something about this earth sign. Somebody's doing, either they got their eye on you or they're doing more research. They're trying to find out some more information, how somebody took a gamble and lost. Somebody's trying to tell somebody, maybe you need to get a pet to give that some more love or teach you how to love, because what you got going on is not working for you. This is why you having these health concerns. This is why things are going down in your life, because you don't know how to love. You don't love yourself. Get you a pet so that pet can help you love something other than yourself and what you don't even love. You're just trying to control something. Hey, Noni. Somebody's still trying to figure themselves out. And this is something that has been going around time and time again. They don't even know who they are. But yet they want to try and control your life. This is why they are nothing but a big ass fat liar. This is why everything that comes out their mouth is like a lie. This is why everything just suddenly came to light. Now this person is taking the time to reminisce about the relationship that y'all had, and they reviewing everything, how good they possibly had it back then, but because they decided that they was just all wrapped up to themselves and all they could see was themselves. Now it's like everything that they brought against themselves is starting to manifest. When they was trying to push something on you, they didn't know that grave that they was digging. They was getting in there deep. They wanted to make sure that the corners was cornered. They wanted to make sure it was a little bit deeper than 6 feet. They was like, no, I'm going to go deeper than 7 feet. No, I'm going to go deeper than 8 feet. No, I'm going to do 10 feet. They just dug themselves a 10-foot grave that they moved into, that they fell into. Whole time, you went ahead and you moved on. You wasn't even thinking about them. You didn't give them a second thought. Now, they got to feel stupid. They did all this time, all this energy, all these resources. They made up all these fucking lies. They did all of this bullshit to try and get at you when you didn't even give them a second of your time. This is somebody who wasted a lot of time coming after you. They got something to tell you. They're going to tell you how, something about somebody was trying to mess up your money. They got something. They're going to tell you everything. And you're going to let them know that, okay, yeah, you already know. See, now somebody wants to commit to you because shit is starting to get serious for them. You like, no, I'm good. They want you to open up your heart to allow them to come in to give you that fake love because you already see who they were in the first time. And you just let them know, no, I have already moved on. I'm not even worrying about you or nothing fake that you got. See, somebody felt like, that you would just be patient and allow them to do some fuck shit over you, create these challenges and you wouldn't say nothing. No, it ain't happening like that. Ain't nobody got time like that. Ain't nobody doing that, especially if it's somebody that loves themselves. They're going to stop it right then and there. See, they didn't know that you had your guardian angels all around you, protecting you and watching them. They didn't know who Archangel Michael is. They didn't know that you didn't have to call on him. He comes ready. He stays on the ready. And now this is why somebody is, you could be getting ready to go into a whole honeymoon phase of your life where things just seem to be perfect for you, work out well for you, because you're going to be blessed. And somebody else is going to realize that they was placed underneath some type of love spell that backfired. Hey, Melissa. Yeah, somebody felt like they was going to get you for your money, like they was going to stop something. They was going to take something that was yours, something that was for you, and thought that, oh, you'll be back because you're going to be like, hey, wait a minute, oh, I know you didn't do all this, and I know you wasn't worrying about all that. Your intuition told you what they didn't have to tell you, what they refused to tell you. Your intuition told you everything. And like I said, you about to communicate something too. And when you talk, people listen. You got that E.F. Hutton effect. When E.F. Hutton talks, people listen. Shout out to all my 60s and 70s babies who remember those E.F. Hutton commercials. What's the message, Spirit? Yeah. See, somebody thought that they was going to be able to wine and dine you this water sign. But no, you rejecting everything that this person got to say. Because you know that they was trying to secretly work with somebody behind your back. So what you gonna do giving them a second chance for? Crazy? Or you just deranged? See, this is karma. Karma is coming around. And they wasn't expecting that. They was not expecting karma to come back around to get them. To give to them what they thought they was giving to you. She don't miss an address. She got everybody's information on lock. Now somebody, they don't know what to do because this air sign is the one who's got the last word. And this air sign said, this shit is over. Trust and believe. Bottom of the deck. Yeah. It's a completion. It's over. Somebody's already moving on because they remember everything that went on in the past. So why stick around? To go for more? See, like I said, somebody's getting karma because they expected to be able to give somebody else what was yours. And then didn't think that you was going to speak up or say anything for all the time that you had invested. Okay, well, you looked at what you had invested. You looked at everything, and then you decided that you was going to surrender. You was going to go on. And that's when the Wheel of Fortune turned in your favor because you didn't fuss, you didn't fight, you didn't argue, you didn't go, I know you didn't, blah, 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 blah. You didn't do none of that. And that's exactly what they wanted you to do. That's exactly what they was hoping you was going to do. Instead, you walked away and you allowed God to guide you in the right direction. They didn't expect that. This is somebody that you were somebody that is worked hard for whatever it is that you have. Didn't this could have been this could be like some witch at work who thought that they was going to be able to control your finances or something like that. They was hoping that they was going to be able to put these swords in your heart, stab you in your back, put these swords in your heart that you wouldn't feel worthy. You wouldn't feel like you deserved anything. But you know what? Somebody else made a judgment call because they looked at whatever was going on. They saw the proof in the pudding. And somebody made a judgment call. Not only did they make a judgment call, but I feel like, somebody asked to see some emails, some communication. Somebody needed to have this communication. This could have been, the leader of this group, or having a talk. And then they found out that somebody was trying to be sneaky on the low. And the whole time, all you did was cut out the bullshit. You were you blocked people You know, the whole mess of trying to compete. You blocked people trying to get at you. You blocked all of this shit. You was fine. Your angels, your ancestors was making sure that you was protected. You was protected against some people that was trying to still come up after you. And then that sword of truth came out about who did what. And then this is the person who feels stuck because you spoke your truth unapologetically, emphatically. You had the discernment of spirits. You used your logic, you used your intuition, and you allowed God to guide you and direct your steps. Hey, Robert, how are you? It's sad whenever a whole earth angel has to protect herself from somebody that is, or himself from somebody that is so jealous, envious, feeling less than, but that's not your issue. You can't help how somebody feels about you, but yet this person wanted to take you from where you could depend on yourself to where you had to be codependent. Like who the fuck wants to be codependent on somebody that is determined to tear them down? They wanted to affect your money. And this is why the whole town is laughing at them. Because everybody sees exactly what they did. And now this person, them same three people, them people are like, no, we don't trust you. Like they couldn't see that coming. They thought that just because somebody, they know I'm lying, but you know what? Nah, they got my back. No, they know you're lying, and they said, don't trust that one. Don't trust them. That whole plan that they had, that shit was cut down. That shit was cut down. And like I said, somebody is confused as how you knew it was them that was trying to do all this stupid shit. How you knew they was the one that was behind it all. Like they thought that they was just so incognito, you would never know it was really them. Really? Okay. Yeah, and see, they sent this King of Cups to be the one to look like they was going to give that final blow. That King of Cups hates that they did that. Hates that they got involved. Because see, they expected you to always have that cup of love for that King of Cups. That shit is over. The moment that they came trying to give you that final blow, that shit was put to rest. And now somebody, like I said, they didn't know that you was going to be able to see who was behind the scenes, who was the hidden enemy trying to create all of this ruckus in your life. It's like so apparent. Your intuition, you already saw it. You already did your investigation. You already had your receipts. You already saw everything. So what was there not to see? You saw it before it happened. What was there not to see? And now somebody want to act like they shocked and surprised that they couldn't see it. That they didn't know. How could I not see this? Oh my gosh, everything is falling apart. Please help me. Come on now. Can we get some more likes in the chat, please? There's 113 people in the chat. If you don't mind, I'd appreciate it. See, this is you know what? People thought that you was weak. They thought that you was weak and that they were strong. Because see, this is somebody who's a bully, who's been a bully for a long time. They've been a bully for a long ass time, and now they're starting to wake up to find out that the bully just got checked. By this spiritual, highly intuitive, not afraid to get down. That's how she's wearing this crown, Empress. Every bully has their day. Every bully finds out that it's time for them to sit their ass down. And today was that day. Yeah, somebody is finding out, this leader is finding out about this plan, to take this money or to do something. They're finding out about who's worthy and who truly has the gift. Now, like I said, they want to come and apologize to you. They want to come and apologize and make up and we're sorry. We're sorry. Well, you know what? When you told us the truth, we thought it was the truth. We wasn't sure. But you already know that this little apology that they got is not rooted in the truth. Because you see that fish that's falling out that cup. So every word that they saying, you see these skeletons, these bones falling out their damn mouth. Because they can't keep their skeletons in the closet. Thinking that they was going to pull your skeletons out the closet. What skeletons? You had already opened up the closet door and told them all to go. You got up in the closet and was pulling bones out. And here's another bone. Here's another bone. So there was nothing for you to hide. I'm telling you, they felt like they had something on you that was going to give them the wish fulfillment. They felt like they had some little bit of information on you. This is it. We got this. Yeah, we got this. But they don't realize that the information that you had, the evidence that you had, was so much bigger than that shit that they had, that they found. You presented the real evidence. They presented something that was like, and did you know that back in 1973, the collective did this? What? Wait, say that one more time. Yeah, we found out that in 1973, the collective had did this. Well, how old was the collective? 8. It's like, do me a favor. Get out of our face. This is 2026. You talking about some shit from 50 years ago? Get out of our, get gone. Get gone before we release the dogs on you. They couldn't stand the fact that you was the rising star. Like I said, they thought that they was going to be able to stop your money. They thought they was going to be able to put some doubt and make things, go south for you. That's what they thought. Because somebody thought, then if I can do that, if I can distort things, if I can make everything, if I can project on them and change their whole situation, then people will see me as the one who is victorious and the one who came to save the day. But people aren't looking at them like that. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. People are seeing that they celebrated a little bit too soon. Now somebody want to bring a message to you. They want to come and they want to talk to you. They want to tell you some information, But now, because they feel under the gun. They feel pressured. And they was hoping that you would be the one to feel pressured. Confirmation. That you wouldn't know what was going on. You wouldn't understand, why all of a sudden you was doing good, and then next thing you know, you trying to barely hold on, you trying to barely hang on. Confirmation. And it's because somebody did everything they could to try and get to you, to get at you. As if whenever they tried, all this fuck shit, lying behind your back, trying to manipulate a situation, trying to say this, trying to say that shit wasn't going to come back on them. But that shit came right back on them. Everything that they did to you came back on them times 10. Now somebody don't want to hear shit that they got to say. They don't want to hear nothing else this lying liar who does nothing but lies got to say. Because somebody's already done their research on you, and you know what they see? That they should have chose you. They should have believed you. Yeah, and somebody else is sitting there worried about all this, how they was like, yeah, we're going to get this out. We're going to spread this shit around. We're going to let everybody know. We're going to do this. And now they regret. They can't sleep at night. Bed is all sweaty. It's 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. They waking up. Now they want to pray to God. Dear God, please. You know my heart. And God said, oh, I sure do. I sure do. That's one thing I do know is your heart. That's why you going through this. That's why everybody sees exactly who they are. That's why you are moving forward, because the truth is out. Not only does this person feel like a fool, but you know what? You stepped out on faith too. That's why you are moving forward. Not them. You. What's the message, Spirit? Hey, Bragsy. Welcome home from work, baby. I hope you had fun. What's the message, Spirit? Thank you, Melissa. Yeah. See, now somebody's understanding that everything that they tried to affect you only affect them. Whatever they was working on did not work. It didn't work at all. And they trying to hold back the fact that, they worried that, all these lies is getting ready to come out, be exposed. They tried to really do something, and they sitting here, they know that other shoe was about to drop. They the one who did that. They had this idea. They made this plan. They already set the shit in motion, and it's coming. It's you already did it. It's too late. It's too late. You came up against an earth angel. Let this be a lesson to you. And then try to lie about it whenever the truth teller was right here. Let this be a lesson to you. How you treat others is number one. That's how you feel about yourself. And then just because you sit there and mistreat somebody, don't think that mistreatment does not go unnoticed. Don't think it doesn't come back on you. Don't think it's not going to affect you where you thought that you was messing with somebody else's money. Okay, that may come back on you, and somebody else mess with your entire family. Or because you decided that you was going to try and block somebody else's money or something, that the love of your life no longer want to be the love of your life. See, this is coming back on somebody and hurting their relationships. Whether it's their personal relationships, whether it's their work relationships, because somebody understand now that somebody is a liar, that they are gossip. They thought that, oh, this is never going to come back around. These secrets are never going to be known. Yeah, it's coming right back around, and everybody sees that you was nothing but a hater. Whatever, hater. You was nothing but a hater, living in hater nation, doing some hating shit. That was it. And they didn't think that this Queen of Cups was ever going to figure out who was doing what, that you was some type of wizard, and they thought that they were so smooth that they could cause so much confusion. You confused yourself. What's coming in for this person is what they put out, and they can't handle it. They're not going to be able to handle it. Be careful what you put out there. You want good to come back on you? Wish people well. Do right. Live a righteous life. Love. Don't sit there and do some underhanded backstabbing bullshit and then talk about, I wish I have nothing but wish the best for you. That's a lie. When you sat there and put out that old negative energy, you think that that's not felt? And you better be careful who you're trying to mess around with. You better be careful, because you don't know this person's spiritual ranking above you. Not just you, but you and your entire passed over loved ones. Your entire, what you consider angelic protection. Because see, this person that you messing around with may have spiritual rank over you and your crew. Wouldn't that be fucked up to find that out? You be sitting here doing all this shit against God's chosen, only to find out that, oh damn, I done messed with the wrong one. Somebody wasn't thinking. They wasn't thinking. They was just thinking that they was going to cut you out, like they was going to be able to spy on you, and they was going to be able to take you out. No, baby, you took yourself out. You should have been looking at what you was doing, not trying to look at what somebody else is doing. See, this emperor had called judgment on this Queen of Wands, because these lies came out. How somebody was lying on you, trying to change your entire situation around. Whenever you had already completed this cycle, went through the door, closed it, and moved the hell on. So what did they really do? Nothing. Not a damn thing. Thank you, Lightworker William. We appreciate you here so much. Yeah, somebody was trying to lie on an empress. Like, how does that work? Somebody was trying to lie on an empress. Not only did they do that, but they lied to their boss. They lied to their boss. That's the kicker part. And now, like I said, somebody who got involved, this is somebody who got involved at the last minute. Now they trying to protect themselves, from their part in it. It's too late. It is too late. When you jumped in with both feet and the water came up to here, that was your indication. Oops, it's way too late. You cannot all of a sudden go all the way down to the bottom of that deep, dark, murky, dirty, fish poop smelling lake and then spring back up and jump back out dry and clean. No. First of all, you're wet. Your hair is messed up. Your clothes smell like that murky, dirty fish poop water. Your shit is through. And you can't dry off fast enough. It's cold outside. The wind is blowing and it's raining. You ain't never going to be able to be dry. Like, what was you thinking? Or was it that you were not thinking? You was trying to jump in the bandwagon. And now you want to come with some old little funky ass apology with your little fish smelling clothes? I don't think so. We don't want this. We good. Do us a favor. Keep that apology, okay, boo? You gonna need it. Apologize to God. We cool. God said we get ready to have more than what we had ever prayed for. Somebody just realizing that what they did was they catapulted you to your blessing. Not, well, they was trying to teach you a lesson. They catapulted you to your blessing. They pushed you over the finish line. That's what they did. They was like, I'm gonna push you so far that I'm gonna make sure that you get everything that you could ever possibly want and need while I'm trying to hold you back. And you like, wait, what? That doesn't even make sense. You getting ready to push me so far while you trying to hold me back? Yes, it's exactly what I said. I'm pushing you far while I'm trying to hold you back. You like, okay, all right. Well, it sounds weird, but okay. That's what you want to do. Like I said, somebody spent all this time investing in you when you wasn't thinking nothing about them. How dumb do they feel? You know? It's like, you know what? You was sitting there trying, you did all this time, all these months, casing out the bank that you was going to rob. You got your outfit together. You got the extra materials that you needed. You know, you got the gang together. They went through all the confirmation. They went through all the blueprints and y'all practicing shit. Went to the school, the elementary schoolyard on the weekends when nobody was there, and y'all practiced. You had simulated, bank vaults, and then you had simulated tellers behind the booth. You had this, you had that, the simulator guard and everything. And then y'all was ready. You did your whole special, you made up your whole hand clap shit, a special hand clap to show that y'all part of the same club and everything, or whatever. And then y'all did it and you was practicing and you was ready and you was like, okay, what time we gonna go? Okay, we're gonna get to the bank at 12 o'clock noon on Thursday, because they're not going to be expecting us. And they was like, wait, what? We going to try and rob the bank at 12 o'clock noon on a Thursday? Isn't that whenever the police are like right there, because the donut shop is right next door and they usually have their weekly meeting there? They're like, wait a minute. Somebody was like, something just don't seem right. Don't doubt me. I know what I'm talking about. Winchell's is right next door. But wait, the police they're not going to expect us. They said, okay. So here it is on the day, and they pulling up everybody in the getaway cars. There's a couple of getaway cars, and they had spray painted bank robber on the side, and they can't find no other parking spot except for right in front of the Winchell's Donuts shop. Well, they gonna parallel park, and somebody out there, the getaway drivers are out there, they're a little nervous, but they got bank robbers spray paint on the side of the car and everything. And the police is like, what does this car say? This car and this car? They said, hold up. Now, if we got to get up off of these stools and put these donuts down and go next door to the bank and see some shit, we can ready to hit them with our billy clubs. The chief said, go ahead, check it out. We'll have them give you a new donut when you get back. They was like, okay. They get up and they go next door and they see that the bank is being robbed. And they're like, if y'all don't put your hands up, you're under arrest. It's the police. Put your damn hands up. And they're like, damn, how do we get caught? It's like somebody was not thinking. They thought that they was going to do some sneaky shit, but they didn't know that they was being seen the entire time. The entire time. What's the message, Spirit? And now they gotta go. Now they receiving judgment. Hello. It's like if you really gonna think about some shit, think about some shit. But whatever they thought that they was going to do, that shit was not. That was like a lead balloon. It was done before it even started. This was the stupidest plan, and they was now they being seen for how they was trying to leave you out in the cold for what they was doing. Now everybody sees them for what they was actually truly doing. Mm-mm. And this the big boss sees that you was the one who they should have went with, or who they need to put in place, or give this promotion to, or give this new job to, because you wasn't no fool and you saw what somebody was trying to do. That's why you was like, I am going to graciously remove myself from this situation. And now somebody's seeing that, damn, why did I do that? How did I not see this? How did I not do this? And blah, blah, blah. Because their whole plan went to smithereens, and now they got to go to court. It's like, come on now. Come on. Are y'all stupid? Or you just a little psychologically imbalanced to the 10th degree? Which one is it? Because it's got to be one of them. Got to be. What's the message? Anything else from this deck? Anything else? Yes, get ready for them to line. Get ready for somebody to, if it's more than one person, get ready for them to line up to be like, excuse me, can I kiss your butt next? I want to be seconds. Be like, I'm going to be first. Well, I'm second, for them to line up. Because they want to try and make up. They want to try and smooth things over, because they know, what? They messed up. They really messed up. They were sitting here trying to get you all off, but you saw the truth. You spoke the truth. You said who was doing what, and then that, like I said, the police came. This could be the military. Somebody came. That's why you was you walked away from all that silliness. All of it. It's like, come on. Yeah, please stop. Y'all ain't got to be embarrassing yourselves. Seriously. How they gonna sit here and try and plan on a somebody that's so spiritually in tune? How they gonna try and do all this? They was trying to purposely plan on you. But see, you had your own plan. You knew what time it was. And you walked away. Yep. You left this person who's now all in their feelings. Now they think that they can bring you some type of apology or something and make up, and they're gonna be shocked. I don't want that. Save that drama for your own mama. Hey, Red Violet. Yep. You was able to protect yourself. And God was right there with you. Somebody, they didn't believe in God, but they do now. And what else they need to believe in is they do not know how to rob no damn bank. They need to believe in that for sure, because they surely getting judgment. Surely. Let's see what these got to say. What's the message? Mm-hmm. Everything is out in the open. Telling you, this month, everything is out in the open, and they're getting what they deserve, and they feel like a fool. They feel like a fool's fool. They feel like a foolish fool. You know, they in fact, their friends don't even call them by their name anymore. They don't say, be like, hey, Otis. They be like, hey, fool. Get over here, fool. What's the message? Mm-hmm. They are getting struck down because you survived everything, and they agreed to not tell you about this money or how they was going to try and affect your money. That's when they messed up. See, when the minute that you try and mess somebody else's life up, and somebody ain't done nothing to you but be fair and honest, oh, because you feeling a certain way, you feeling jealous, you feeling less than, that's when it happens. That's when it happens. They see now somebody they starting to understand. Now it all makes sense. Did how they was acting ignorant towards you. Somebody had their head stuck up in their own ass because they didn't want to see something. And they was all hell bent on trying to destroy you. And now they look like a bully. Up straight up bully. And they're looking at you with these internet trolls. They can't help but to look at you. They trying to figure out what's your next move, what you gonna do, what you know, what you don't know, what you talking about, what you're not talking about. And even if you do, they don't like to listen, so it's gonna go right on over their head anyway. So yeah. Well, if I got some internet trolls, please like and subscribe if you have not. Anything else? Yep, somebody went down the rabbit hole. This could have been something that started 5 years ago, but it's going to be completely over in June. You know, because they're going to see that you are a born leader. A born leader. What you say, Red Violet? Hello, dum-dum. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Anything else? We're getting ready to wrap this up. Ooh, that's a lot. Somebody looking like a whole clown out there. A whole clown. And that what they was doing was some illegal shit. And karma is coming back to them as legal issues. But we are in that sweet spot. This is where intention meets the flow of spirit. Yes, indeed. All right, y'all. I'm going to leave it right there. I'm working until 7 p.m. this evening, but I'm going to try and see if I can preserve my strength and jump back on here after my shift ends at 6 California time, 8 Central time, 9 Eastern time. All right. I love y'all. I want everyone to have a wonderful day. This is Thursday. Thank you so very much. If you haven't subscribed and you like this Sweet Spot Soul Tribe vibe, please subscribe. We would love to have you. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Bye now.